This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom Victorian house, complete with a Queen Anne-style turret tower. And at 2.5 stories, this beautiful home is ginormous. Hey you ladies and germs, my name is SWChris, back with a building tutorial that is, well, quite frankly, it's the biggest one I've ever done so far. So hopefully the scope of this house doesn't scare you off. I'm going to walk you step by step through how to build this thing, which should help you avoid the trial and error that I went through while concepting this thing out. Believe me, it took me days. A lot of days. Anyway, let's get started. First, let's take a look at the basically the building list of materials here. We've got a whole bunch of stuff here. You can see all these foundations and wood walls and all this stuff. So if you're building this in vanilla, or at least in survival mode, because we need structures plus for this stuff. If you're building this in survival mode, it will take a lot of time to basically get all the materials and stuff. So hope you guys are, chilling out with some Netflix or something when you farm these materials, or just watching this this tutorial through for your first time. Okay, so we've got our equipment list. Let's take a look at where we are here. We are at 87.1, 41.4 on the center map. And that's basically this huge waterfall with a large fallen tree beside it. So if you look down there, you'll find this area here, and this is where you can build it. Here's where our platform is. This is our starting out platform. So this is going to be basically the floor plan of the house minus the decking. All right. So one thing, when you place this thatch floor, you're going to want to face it facing either this way or either this way. And that is because when we go down to lay the decking of our deck, we're going to want the wood to go left and right, perpendicular to where you're facing here. And I wanted to do that all the way around the house. Now, if you don't care about that detail, it doesn't matter how you've oriented this. But I thought I would just mention it because it was kind of a little bit of a sticking point for me. So let's go ahead and let's start building this out here. I'm going to replace this 3x3 square with stone. So this is what we want to do. And we're going to have some wood foundations here too. So you don't want to replace this all with stone. So I will just do this really quick because it looks like it's going to be a little squirrely. And I'll be right back. Okay, so we've got our 9x9 here, and now what we're going to do is we're going to go out here. We're going to do a 3x4, starting with this square here. Let me just destroy it. And we're going to make this 3x4 section stone as well. Okay, now we've got our stone placement pretty much down. We just have one more thing to do. So we're going to put stone not right there. We're going to put it right next to it. There we go. So it's going to be a little funky there. So there we go. All right. So now that we've got stone here, we need to go ahead and replace this bit and that bit with wood. We're going to do this bit first, and then I've got some special instructions for this bit. Okay, there's our wood floor for this room. And then for this area, this is a 4x4. We're actually going to delete these first two here. Okay, so these two are gone. This is how we want them to be. We don't want to replace them with wood foundations quite yet. So we're going to put a wood foundation there and a wood foundation here. And then we are going to go ahead and take these wood triangle foundations that you have in Structures Plus. We're going to put a wood foundation here really quick so that we can build off of it. We're going to take these triangle structures here, and we're going to just build this kind of outcropping. So this is going to be the start of our Victorian kind of tower thing that you see in all these Victorian houses. We're going to make it round, completely round. So you're going to go all the way around like this. So there's 6 pieces. You'll overlap a little bit with this. And then once this is overlapped, you can put this down and it should be okay. So now we have our floor plan and our materials all done here. So now what we need to do is we're going to start on the tower first, okay? So the tower a little bit is we're going to use wooden door frames for this bit, and then we're going to use some glass doors as quote-unquote windows so that they're kind of the tall kind. And we're just going to kind of pretend that those windows don't exist. But we'll put the windows in probably pretty close to last. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to build up 6 walls. And we're going to alternate between door frames and wood paneling. And we're going to do that for these 3. So let me do that. Okay, so there's the front of our tower. Now, we need to go ahead and surround the other side with thatch walls. Okay, and there's our wall. And hey, there's a giant gorilla head poking through. That's weird. Okay, anyway, let's just go ahead and exit through here and let's take a look at it. Yes, that looks just about how I want it to look. And there's something walking around. Oh, it's a Dimorphodon. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's get started on the walls. Okay, so we're going to put a door frame right to here. Okay, and we're just going to go kind of counter. I'm sorry. Do I want to do? Yes, we want to do right to left. So we'll go to the right first. This is going to be counterclockwise, I think. Okay, so we're going to put a door frame right there, and then we're going to go through over here. We're going to put solid wall. Oops, I misplaced that. That can happen. We're going to do solid walls right here, all the way through. And then we're going to put a thatch wall right here. So, oops, that's a demolish gun. Comes with Structures Plus. Okay, there we go. So now we've got 2 thatch walls. Those are going to be our stand-ins for our windows. And I'm putting thatch here for now. And trust me, you'll probably want to do the same if you care about little gaps in your build. All right, so we're going to go over here. I'm going to do that right there. And then we're going to do one of those and one of those, and then a solid. Okay, very nice. A solid right here, and then a door frame here. And then we're going to go with, keep pressing the wrong key, 2 thatch walls. And these are going to go up 3 high. So I'm just going to go ahead and place them now. And then we're going to do a solid wall right here. Then we're going to do 2 window frames, a solid wall, and then 2 more window frames. Then we're going to go over here with a solid wall, and then we're going to do a thatch thing for a window. And this one's only going to be 1 high, so that's all you have to do. And then we're going to do a solid wall here and a solid wall right there. Okay, so that is the first level of the house. And so the next level is going to be all solid walls. So let me go ahead and get that all placed for you. Okay, you ladies and germs, we have got our first story done. Hey, if you guys are building this with me, why don't you go ahead and send me a couple screenshots on Twitter. My address is at SWChrisMC. I'd love to see what you guys are working on. Anyway, let's continue. Now we're going to go around and we're going to work on the deck that kind of surrounds most of this place. So there's a couple things we need to keep an eye on here. And it's going to kind of require a little bit of building trickery. So I will just explain that as I go. Just kind of follow my lead here because we really just want to go ahead and put a wood foundation here. Okay. And it doesn't have to be a foundation. I think it can be a ceiling and it should be okay because these foundations will provide support. But I always start with a foundation, so that works for me. And then we need some ceilings, and be sure to use the S+ kind. Use S+ for everything if you can. And we're going to go ahead and put ceilings across this way. Now, these are not going to be the final pieces here. They're just here to, there we go, provide some spacers. Hello, bear. Please don't kill me. We're going to provide some spacers for the pillars that we're going to put on the front and the sides of the house. So we're going to go all the way around through here. And we're going to go all the way around through this side of the house. Oh, lag. Crazy lag. Okay, UTC, it's not just you. All right, be right back. Okay, the bear's gone, and luckily I realized I didn't tell you this right. So over here, what we need to do is we need to make these actual wood foundations. And I'm going to be using the vanilla kind, not the S Plus kind, because I just like the way they look better. So we're going to place them down right here. 1, 2, and 3. Now that's going to come in important a little later. I am going to go ahead and use, there we go, standard wood foundations for this side as well. And these are going to be permanent. So we're just going to go around like this. And then over here to the wooden doorway. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to place ceiling foundations. So you see how these kind of stick up? We don't want that. So we're going to pick that up. And we're going to place the ceiling off of the stone foundation. And for some reason, they align pretty well with the stone foundation because now you see they're not sticking up anymore. So pretty useful trick. I'm not sure if that's just with the S Plus or if it's a vanilla thing too. Maybe one of you guys can confirm in the comments. But we're going to go over here and there we go. So now we've got our deck kind of in place. And so now we need to do this all the way around. Well, not quite all the way around. Around 3 sides here. So we're going to do this like so. And pick it up. Okay, and then I need to go ahead and just go like this all the way around to this point. And then you're going to stop and you're going to go no further. Okay, you're going to stop right there. So now we're going to do something a little tricky with the front of this, okay? First, we got to connect this. I almost forgot. There we go. And then we need to use wood pillars, and we're going to connect them to the front middle of these 3 platforms, okay? Then we're going to skip, and we're going to do it the same way here on this side, okay? So the reason I had these wood pillars here is because look at this. On this side, the wood pillars just do not want to connect to the middle, but they will connect to the middle on this. And that's another important reason why when you put your initial foundation down, you're going to be wanting to face perpendicular to where you want the front of the house to be. So since the front of the house is on this side right here, I'm going to be wanting to face this way when I put my foundation down. It's just kind of a weird spacing thing that we've got with this game. So we're going to do 2 of those. And then what we're going to do is these ceilings are now going to be doing a neat little job of holding these pillars up. Well, they will be. I think I want to put these into the ground for safety's sake. So just kind of watch out for that. Okay, there we go. So now we're going to pick this pillar up or this ceiling up. Yeah, and the pillars don't break because they're being held up by the ceiling. And then we can put down a stone or a wood foundation. Perfect. Okay, great. So now you're just going to repeat this with the front of the house. Okay, so very interesting is that this wood ceiling, this wood pillar kind of died on me. So that might happen. Just kind of play it by ear and just try to make it work for you, okay? Okay, so we have the pillars in, and I had to basically rebuild a couple of them because for some reason they kind of snapped to the adjacent foundation instead of the ceiling. It's kind of weird, but even still, let me just show you. I could pick this up. I was still kind of able to snap them into the foundation because of the ceiling up there. So your mileage may vary. It may be a little tricky for you. Just do your best and you'll figure it out. And also, I don't need this, so I'm going to pick this corner up. And then we're going to do the same over here. And we're also going to do the same little structure on the very back here in just a moment. Okay, so I don't need this. I actually want to put a stair here. So we're going to, oops. Okay. Yeah, weird stuff happens. So I've done this for the back, and instead of putting them in the middle of the platforms, I put them on the edge. And that's because what I want to do here is I want to continue this kind of pattern, but I want it to be, I want it to end kind of even here with a corner piece. And so it just kind of necessitates kind of adjusting the measurements here just a little bitty bit. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put these in here if I can. And I am cheating. I'm flying. Oh my gosh. Okay, there we go. So now we've got these all the way down except for here. They're kind of floating a bit. If you're that far enough off the cliff, just go ahead and use stone pillars. I think they look pretty good as anchor points into the rock face here. It's just kind of a neat look to it. Okay, now we are back here at the front. And let's put down some regular walls here. We're going to want it so that the rough part is kind of on the inside this time. So it should be pretty easy as long as you just kind of stay here. It should do it automatically for you. Awesome. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to take these stone wall slopes, and these are the normal vanilla kind. And the reason I'm doing that is because the Structures Plus roofs here, let's see if I can get it to fit. Yep. Oh, there it is. The Structures Plus roofs here, the stone ones, they don't kind of occlude into each other correctly the way the vanilla ones do. And we kind of want that to happen. And we got a prime example coming up here. I'll show you once we have it done. Oops, where'd it go? It might have disappeared. Oh, it's down here. Well, that's the wonderful thing about Structures Plus is it comes with this nifty demo gun. So all you got to do is shoot it and you can pick it up. You don't lose any resources. It's pretty cool. All right, so before we come all the way over here, we need to go ahead and put in these right there. And then we're going to put in this right here. And then we need to do this side first before we do this side of things, because the way the overlap works is it goes kind of counterclockwise a bit. So there you go. So you put that in there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put a stone thing right there, stone roof there, stone roof here, and a stone roof here. If you do this one first and then this one, it doesn't work. Okay, so that's important to keep in mind. All right, so now that we've got all those in, we've got our initial stone roof here. Can I walk, please? There we go. All right, so now we're going to do it for this as well as for the backside. All right, not bad if I do say so myself. So let's go ahead. Let's grab some fences. I had them on my toolbar, and then I took them off for some reason. Let's go ahead and put these right here, and these will just keep you from falling off. And then this should almost complete our deck. We just need to add some steps and things. So that should be fairly straightforward. I'm just going to go ahead and leave this here so that we can walk off of it just fine. Same thing for this bit here. And this bit here, I'm actually going to attach a gazebo, which I did in a previous tutorial. So if you're interested in seeing that, you can actually click on the little card here to go to that tutorial. Or if you want, you can wait till the end of the video. I'll flash it up there as a little thing too. Okay, so I forgot to add a pillar here. So we're going to add that back. So let's grab my pillars. And let's put it right there. Okay, there you go. And a pillar there. Okay, awesome. So now we have a nice looking kind of front here and a tower, and it's coming along pretty nicely. So what are we going to do for the front here? Well, you can try to do this. I ain't really going to spend a lot of time telling you how, but you're going to need a lot of the S Plus foundations. I don't think I have enough here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to use the landscape here to create some stairs using foundations. So we're just going to line that up like so. And then just hope to God it lines up here. So yeah, I just placed one underground. That's not good. It might actually just work out. Okay, that is a little wonky. So I'm just going to play around with it, and you can do it for the front. For the side exits, I got these nice little benches here, and they make nice little footsteps. So you just step right there, and then you can just walk right up them. It's pretty cool. Over here, I'm going to also use another stone foundation, so I can do that. Let me use that as maybe a placer. Oh no, I only have one. Hang on. Okay, that one's not bad. So we'll go ahead and put some railings right here. There we go. Very nice. And then we should be able to walk right up them. Yeah, very nice. Okay, great. So we got that one done. Okay, and we got those two done. And then there's one thing. I've decided I don't like these pillars here. So we're going to take these off. Just pop off the tops. You leave the bottom ones so that they still look good. But those 4 need to go. Or 5. However many there were. Now they'll just look kind of like that. If you can tell. So there we go. So now I just need to work on the front. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. We've got our kind of a stone kind of foundation kind of indented in. And so there's one more thing that I've decided we should probably do with this roof. We've added the gazebo as well. Again, refer to my tutorial for how to build that if you want to build one on your own. But what we need to do here is we're going to go ahead and put the corner roof piece in here. And it's going to be kind of the same way we did it on the other side. Okay, so everybody's happy. We have a nice roof that continues and is kind of the same on both sides, as you can see now. So yeah, the next bit now is to work on the second story. So let's go ahead and start with that. So let's start right here today. And we're going to start with a wood wall. And we'll put a piece of thatch right here. Yeah, there's only one there. Okay, and then another solid wall. Then we're going to go for a solid wall here. If it'll go. Come on. Oh, why are you being difficult? Oh, server lag. Okay. And then a wood window frame right here. And then what we're going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and take an S+ wood ceiling. We'll put a wood ceiling right here. And then this is going to kind of continue across like this. So we will leave this blank. We'll come back to this in just a second. We're going to go continue this bit here. And this is going to be a solid wood wall as well. We might have to do this one first. And then cycle into here. Right. Okay, there we go. We got it. Okay. Now, I think we're putting a window frame here. I believe that's correct. And then we're going to do solid 8, then a window frame here, and then a solid here. And then we'll go over here on this side. And this is going to be 3 window frames. So 1, 2, 3. And I think we're good. I thought I heard something snap, but I think we're good. Okay. And then a solid wall right here. And let's see. Solid wall right here. And then we'll go across these 3. And then another solid wall. And then over across on this side, it's all window frames. All right. So window frame, window frame, window frame, window frame, window frame. All right. So that completes our first bit right here. Now, here's where things are going to start getting a little tricky, okay? So on this second story here, it's not going to be all solid walls all the way across like we did on the first story. Actually, it's going to be some sloped roof time. So we're going to put a kind of a sloped wood wall left right there. And I'm using vanilla. Don't use the S+ ones because our vanilla stone roofs are not going to attach. So you can use S+ if you want, if you know where things are going to kind of, overlap, but I wouldn't worry about it. So it's probably just easier to just do all in one. Okay, so now there's some funky stuff here, and I'm not sure why it does this, but there is a gap here, and I haven't quite figured out why we have this issue. And so it's like these pieces don't line up on purpose. It's kind of weird. So now we're going to go ahead and do a sloped wood wall right here. And you see how it overlaps? I don't get it either. It's weird. Okay, so now this bit is just going to be empty, and we'll add roofs and things here in just a moment. So on this side, we're going to do solid walls again. So wall and wall. Okay, great. And then this is going to be empty, and then we're going to go ahead and do a sloped roof right there. And then another window frame right there. And then a sloped roof right there. Yeah, I don't get that. That just seems weird to me. What are you going to do? Okay. And then over here, it's going to be a sloped roof. And then here, this is kind of a tricky bit right here. We need, let me see. We're going to do a sloped window frame right here. We're going to do a sloped roof right there. Okay. And then solid walls across here and here. And then a sloped roof right there. Okay, so that works pretty well for what we want to do now. Okay, so now we're going to work on adding the upper story here. So we're going to add another sloped roof right there. And then we're going to do a sloped roof right there and a sloped roof right there. And then I think that's it. Yeah, we're going to do a sloped roof right there. Okay, so now it's time to start adding roofs and things. So let's get going on that. All right, so we're going to take the easiest bit right now, and we're going to put a sloped roof right here across, okay? Just all the way across, just go all the way across like that. Same thing here. All right, so that works great there. And so now we need to do a sloped roof right here. And we're going to do a sloped roof right here. And now, here's the tricky part, okay? So these walls are temporary, right? So we're going to go ahead and build up a little bit of the interior here. So we're going to do a wooden doorway. Okay, so here we go. This is the orientation I want. Place it right there. So you do have to face it from this direction, then press Q, and then fiddle with E until you get this. So that's what you want. And then we're going to go up. Maybe. Good Lord. All right, we'll do it from this direction. It's easier. Maybe. Hello. So many snap points. Okay, and then the same thing, a doorway here. So, yeah, excellent. And then we're going to want, it's a solid wall here. Okay. Oh, come on. Okay, that's fine, whatever. It goofed up on me. That's fine. Okay, so now we should be able to, if it's going to be nice to me. Oh, it is. We'll snap a ceiling there and a ceiling there. Okay, there we go. So there's our ceiling for this side. And now I should, if life is fair, no. Okay, we'll work on that later then. All right, let's come on over to this side here. And we're going to have to snap a ceiling here. And then we're going to go all the way across. Oops, come on, man. Come on. You can do it. Okay. It's a little tricky, but hey. Okay, there we go. Excellent. All right, so we got a ceiling right there. And now we need to build up a temporary wall right here. So I'm going to use thatch, and we're going to just go all the way up. Okay, so these walls, I believe, are going to need to be wood. We will have a ceiling here that will support these later, but for now I'm just using thatch walls. So we'll do that, and then we'll do one of these bits right here, okay? So now that we have that, we can go all the way across here with these roofs. So let's do that. And always go from left to right when you're overlapping. So we're going to do this, and then that. Okay, and then now we've got some interesting stuff here, okay? So we're going to put a overlapping roof right here. And we're going to put a roof right down here and a roof right here. And then before you go all the way over, we need to build a bit of the interior, okay? Again, so we got a door frame here, a solid wall here, a door frame here, and a solid wall here. And if you just build it from about where I am, it should snap to the right spot, which is right about that way. So next, oops, got stuck. Before we go any further here, we need to put one of these down. And we're using a vanilla one again. And you need to do this because if you place this roof down over it, you're not going to be able to place this for whatever reason. I don't know. Okay, so now that we have that built, we have a lot of the roof done, but we need to get rid of some of this kind of ugly sort of overlappingness. And we also need to provide a kind of a foundation point for something we're building here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put ceilings down. And by the way, if you're finding this tutorial useful, please go ahead and share it with your friends. That really helps me out a lot. And it helps you out because it really encourages me to make more build guides for you and other people who enjoy this sort of thing. Don't fill in this over here because we're going to do something different with those. But right here is what we want. And the reason we're going to do this is just to kind of hide the unsightliness of the roof. But we also need to put a S+ sloped wall. And I'm not sure if it's right or left, so let me look here. Place? No. Okay, so it's not the sloped wall right, it's the sloped wall left. So let's do that. Yeah, there we go. So we got a nice little sloped wall here. It connects in very nicely. And then we're just gonna put our, I think it's our last stone ceiling, right there. Okay, there we go. So we've got that kind of nicely tucked in. And the roof is pretty much almost complete. We just need to do one more thing, which is one of these, and one of these, and one of these. Okay, very nice. All right, so now we're inside, and we've got a bunch of little holes and things we've got to fill in. We've got these things. I want to add window frames up here, but to do that, you know, they don't snap right now. So we're going to make them snap the right way, and that means doing more thatch walls. Okay, so we're going to put a thatch wall facing this direction, and there we go. We want it to be kind of like this, I believe. I think that will make it work correctly. You want that orientation. You kind of want it to snap to this side. And then, so we go up that far, and then if we look and we check this out, it should line up. Yeah, for a right angled thing, that is about right, okay? And we need to do that, just that, yeah, we need to do that twice, because right now the only snap point available is the top of the roof, and we don't want that top of the roof, okay? Now, let's see. This one, I believe, is going to be solid. So we're just going to go ahead and save some time and put an S+ wall in there. And that is not how I wanted it. There we are. Close enough, I believe. Okay. And then we'll place... No? Ah, Q. Okay, there we go. So there's our second one. Okay, and now for the triangle piece, we're going to have to go ahead and come outside. And we're going to have to build some basic support walls. Now, these are just temporary, but I'm going to use wood just to kind of make it easier to see where the snap points are. And they're S+, so I won't be losing any resources because I'll just be able to pick it up. So we're going to want... Oops, there it was. It was just right there. You see that? That's what we want. Now, there's going to be a little gap right there, and that's the sloped wood wall left, S+ version. There's going to be a little gap right there. I couldn't figure out how to snap it perfectly in, unfortunately. It's just, it's a little difficult. But when you pick up the wood S ceiling and then this ceiling, it should stay just fine. So, you know, that works pretty well. It does kind of, it just seems to be snapping a little too high. Again, no easy way to really fix that as far as I can tell. Okay, so we've got that bit mostly done. Let's come back inside because there's one more thing we need to finish off for the interior. So that's an interior piece. I think that's the piece we want, but let's just check. Okay, there we go. Good enough for government work, I think. Okay, so now you should be able to remove these pieces here and everything should stay. Yeah, there we go. Okay, great. So this stuff is all going to stay. It's going to be supported by the top roof there. If you remove this stone roof, you expect that window to fall. So that's just kind of how that works. So I'm going to clean this up and we'll go back on to the next bit. Okay, next bit. Same thing here. We've got these windows to add. So let's go ahead and do that. So it's the same thing, basically, is you're going to try to connect it to the stone piece closest to you. Okay, it is now so built up. And so let's go ahead and add a window frame. And it connects about right. So let's go ahead and do the same thing for the other three. We have our window frames in. So now if we disconnect the supports, they should stick to the roof, and they are. So let me go ahead and get rid of this, and we'll move on to the next section. All right, so now we are going to go ahead and work on finishing up this tower here. That is the last bit we need to do before we can go inside and start adding windows and things like that. So let's go ahead and get started on that. We're going to go ahead and place a ceiling here. And you press Q if you need to kind of embed it further into the roof so that it doesn't kind of float. And we're going to do the same thing with just all four of these here. So pressing Q, that should connect. Yes, it does. All right. Now, interestingly, the wood grain is going left and right this time. If you're picky about that, you can, of course, adjust it if you want. It just depends on where you put your snap points. All right, so there we go. We got all these in, and this should work pretty well for this floor. Now we need to go up a floor, and this part is going to be a little tricky because we've got to kind of work on a partial sort of ceiling type of thing. So here's how this is going to work, all right? One, we are going to need to get rid of these top two layers of thatch. So let's go ahead and let's do that. All right, so with these down, we are going to use glass ceilings. Now, these are just temporary, but we're going to need them. So go ahead and put them down like so. Now, this is going to let you see through, and that's important. So let's go ahead, just to kind of make it easier for me, I want to replace these thatch things with some temporary wood walls. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take these wooden fence foundations here, and we're going to use the S+ ones, and we're going to use K mode to kind of line them up with these walls as exactly as we can. And this is pretty cool because we get to make basically some triangle wall things kind of work pretty well without having to just kind of guess. It's kind of one of the cool things that this sort of mod lets you do, is use glass as kind of temporary placement foundations for these things. Okay, there we go. So once you have them placed, you can start placing some door frames, I believe. Door frames are solid walls, depends on what you want. I'm going to go with solid walls here, and they should place so that they connect. So we've got a solid wall right there, and then I'm going to do a door frame on either side, just because I don't want a window kind of facing the roof. It's just not a thing. Okay, so just inspect these, make sure they line up decently well. This is a little off, so I'm probably going to pick this up and replace this this fence foundation. Let's see how this one fares. Oh, I'm out of door frames. All fixed, so let's try this. Let's put one right there. Okay, so that one's a little off too, of our middle. So we're going to have to, I think this one's placed okay, so we'll leave that there. But we're going to have to replace these. So let me do that, and it's just kind of a little bit of a trial and error here, but it's a lot less trial and error than you would have had otherwise. All right, there we go. We've got all of this done. These walls kind of line up pretty nicely. If you did it right, you shouldn't see any cracks in any of these things. And so now I've gone ahead and I've removed these foundations, or these walls down below, just to test it and make sure that the fence foundations did indeed snap to the ceilings, and they did. So that's good. So these things are just going to kind of stick down. It's just something we're going to have to live with, but that's all right. That's fine with me. I'm okay with that. So let's replace these with ceilings. And then we need to put in some triangle ceilings. All right, triangle ceilings right here and right there. Okay, there we go. That looks pretty good, except don't place one right here. I totally forgot, because that's the only way up is doing it that way. So we're going to go ahead and take a ladder. There's my ladders. And we're just going to go ahead and go off to the side here and place one right there. Make sure you can climb it from this angle because these things place really finicky and weird. So place one right there, and we should be able to climb all the way up. And we can! Awesome! Okay, so now we just need solid walls up here on each of these. And they should just be fine. Yes, they are. Oh, and I accidentally deleted that when I was fixing stuff, so placing that there. Okay, so now we've got wood triangle ceilings up here. Now, it's interesting. You could actually make this glass if you wanted. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go for the more traditional build, but it probably would be a very neat little touch if you wanted to. So we've got those up there, and now we need to go over here. And let me go ahead and start flying a bit. Makes it easier to do this part. And let's look for some triangle roofs. I think I have some still left over. Where are they? Right here. Okay. So now we're just going to place stone triangle roofs right along here. All the way around. We've got all of them placed. So let's go ahead and go out here and take a look at our complete Victorian house exterior. Well, almost complete. We've still got to add windows and doors. But for the most part... Oh, wait. No, there's one more thing we've got to add. So over here, this is going to be a little kind of a call-out deck. So we've definitely got to add some fences and fence foundations and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's add a railing. I said a railing? Railing. Thank you. So let's add a railing right here. And then we could add a railing right here, but then it would kind of occlude into this this window. And we don't want that. So we're going to do something kind of interesting here. We're going to take one of these things. And we're just going to put it at a slight angle. And we're going to have it occlude into the wall instead. All right. How about right there? That should work okay. And then if we go ahead and add a railing to that. Yeah, that connects fairly reasonably well. It is a little off, but that's fine. I'm fine with that. I'm okay. Gives it a little character, I have to say. All right, there we go. Our exterior is done. Let's go work on the interior now, okay? All right, looky here at this interior. Look how cavernous and huge it is. There's so much we can do with this space. But I'm going to do things a particular way. So you can break off and do your own interior if you like. From this tutorial, you can break off, or you can just kind of sit in, just kind of hang out and follow along as we build my version of what I want it to be. So let's go ahead and add an S+ wood doorway right there, facing inwards to kind of mirror this side. And then let's do a stone wall right here. And let's do a stone wall right there. Okay, so it's important to do it from this side so that it snaps to this foundation here. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do something special with this room here. We are going to put in a fireplace. Now the fireplace, as you can see, it doesn't go all the way through the roof. So we're actually going to also add a second one to the second story later. So to accommodate that, we're going to have to kind of do something like this, just have it kind of sticking through a bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my K mode and make sure it's mostly lined up like so. And then we're going to have it kind of sticking out through the fireplace just a little bit, not too much. We don't want it to go too far out. I think right there will probably be just fine. So let's go ahead and paste it in. Okay, there we go. And then once we've got that in, we can use a S+ stone door frame from the other direction. So that looks about as even and lined up as I can get it. The doorway is actually a little off center, so you're going to want to line it up to these wood things so that these are about the same width on every side, and they are. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put a wood wall here and then stone walls across this. Oops. There we go. Ooh, we had some lighting glitches there. Okay, there we go. So we got that done, and now let's go ahead and do thatch ceilings across the top. I'm doing thatch because thatch makes kind of a nice little carpet substitute. And so it works out pretty well. And yeah, there's only one snap point here, which is good. Okay, so there's our roof. Looks pretty nice and cozy. And so next, what we need to do is we're going to go ahead. Well, we'll do that. We'll do the window later. Let's go ahead and head out here and let's work on this area, this spot here. So we got a nice wall here coming out, and we've got kind of this nice open thing. It kind of suggests an open room, especially with this huge window here that we're going to have. So how about we go ahead and we put down some pillars. So let's put down a pillar right here. Let's build it up one. And let's do the same thing right here on the corner here. Let's do a pillar here and one right here. And let's do a pillar here as well, okay? There we go. Now, I've changed my mind on something here. I have decided that this wood foundation is now going to be a stone foundation, and it's going to be part of our room here. So we want to kind of make a piece of wood to go all the way up, make it go all the way up to the top there. And now we need stone. So we're going to do, yeah, right there. That's how I want it. Okay. Now you're going to see a little bit of a gap there, but that should be fine. I don't think you'll notice it once you have everything in to the, yeah, there we go. Once you have everything in, all the furnishings and all that stuff. So I'm just going to do this. All right. So we have got this kind of up all the way here. And now we need to place this, except you may have some placement problems. It may want to snap to the ceiling instead of the wall below it, leaving that little gap down there. So you might have to take out the ceiling temporarily. It shouldn't affect anything above it if you've been following this guide. So let's go and do that. All right. Yeah, that looks good. And then one more in there. Okay. And then we'll put the ceiling back in here once I find it. There we go. All right, very nice. So now we have a ceiling that goes all the way up to here. Got some nice kind of light leaking through, but that's okay. Some weird thing with the game engine, I suppose. And next, I actually just replaced it, but we're going to go ahead. Oops, come here. We're going to go ahead and place our staircase right here so that it wraps around the pole. Now, there may be like some bookcases and things you might want to put back here, in which case you may want to place those first before we do the staircase. So let me do that really quick. I think what I want to do is, let's see, that's a storage box. That's a bookshelf. I think I'd like to do a bookshelf. So let's try that. Where did my bookshelf go? There it is. All right. So I'm just going to place one right there. So next, we're just going to do a little bit of second story work here because it's still part of the main room. So let's go all the way up with these, all the way up to the ceilings, all three of them. And then what we're going to do is put that away. We're going to put in some more thatch, quote unquote, carpeting here. And we're just going to go here, here, there, right there, and then two more right here. And so this is going to be our upstairs kind of balcony thing. Okay, so now we're needing to do some more railings. So do two right there, two right here, and then one right here. Okay, there we go. So there is our upstairs kind of area here. And I think that looks pretty good. We are leaving a gap here. Let's put a railing right there, and that should do it for the railings. Yeah, that looks good. All right, so let's go back to walking since I shouldn't need to fly for the rest of this. There's a couple more things we need to do. Let's go ahead and let's design our kitchen, okay? So here's what I'm going to do. For our quote-unquote kitchen, we're going to need a chemistry table. So I'll put a chemistry table right there. We're going to need a refrigerator, so I'll put a refrigerator right there. We're going to need catwalks. Catwalks are kind of important, so we'll put one right there for now. And I think that will work for now. You could do a smithy if you wanted. I'm going to be doing kind of a table for our island, although you could use a smithy for it if you want everything in just like one spot. If you're going to make this functional, I would suggest you do that. Okay, there we go. All right, so first things first, we're going to need to place our refrigerator down, okay? So our refrigerator is going to go right here, and we're going to place it just a little bit like so, okay? Now, I'm not going to do electricity with you on camera because we frankly don't need to. All right, so you do see how what I'm doing is I'm trying to position this so that it's kind of in a doorway. That's what we want. It's not quite lined up, so I'm going to do my best to line it up right now. Okay, that lines up pretty well, I think. So let's go ahead and put that right there. And then let's go ahead and put a solid wall up here. And then we'll do solid stone walls on these two corners, on this corner as well. All right, there we go. All right, now let's go ahead and place our chemistry bench. This is going to be our quote unquote sink. I'm using the S+ one so that we can get it closer to the wall. So if I can get around these pillars to see, you should see when it starts occluding into the wall there so that we don't kind of stick it through. All right, let's put it right there. All right, let's see how that looks. Okay, that doesn't look too bad, and it's not sticking through the wall, so we're pretty happy there. I like that placement. And then we'll do 2 shelves. So let's see if I can get over here. No. Okay, so we'll put a shelf there, and that'll be like for pantry stuff. You can just put stuff up there if you want, assuming you have a mod that lets you do that. If you don't, don't worry about it. It's just a nice look. And then we'll put one right there to kind of even this out, and so you have a nice little extended mantelpiece here. Okay, so now that we've got that, we see that we are pretty much done with this room. There's only one more thing left to do, which is our kitchen island. So what I like to do is I want to line it up with this pillar a bit. So I'm going to use K mode to try to do that, the orbital camera. And let's keep rotating to the left to just kind of make it even. And I want it to stick out into the living room area a bit. So there we go. So now we have a nice little area here. And the only thing we're really missing is an oven. And so what better way to do an oven than to use a refining forge? And let's put it in here so it kind of sticks in a bit. Okay, so let's do our best to make it work. All right, and boom. Okay, there you go. So there you go. Refining forge, it works. You can drop stuff in it. And if we go in here, it obstructs a little bit, but not too bad. And it actually kind of blends in, makes it look like part of the wall is there in a way. So anyway, that is our kitchen area. And we have a few more things we could do to furnish this area. But this is kind of like built into the design, so I wanted to do it right now. And it looks pretty cool. So I think it's time we go into this room. And this room looks pretty decent. We are missing a bit of a floor here. So let's find my ceilings. Let's put a ceiling right here. And let's press Q until we see that it actually matches this door pattern here, which is what we want. Okay, so there we go. So now we've got kind of an interesting area in this room. Let's go ahead and make this a stone door. All right, let's put the door frame, and let's put it right here. And then we'll use a stone wall. I said a stone wall, and we'll put a stone wall right there. And then that pretty much is good for this room here. And so let's go ahead and work on this room a little bit. So the only thing we really have left to do here is add in some ceilings. So the room above this is going to be thatch as well. So let's go ahead and add that in. Okay, shall we? So now that the roof is in and it's supporting the wood structures up there, we should be able to take this down and we should be okay. Yes. Okay. Nothing fell down. All right. And finally, we need to do a little water closet here, a little bathroom. So we're going to go ahead and try to do this right. All right. I want the interior to kind of face inwards so we have the same sort of look to our paint scheme. Where's my door frame? I thought I had it up. Ah, here we go. All right, let's do this and put a door frame in here. No. All right, it's going to be difficult. Okay, there we go. Very nice. And then one more right there. Okay, I think we're good with the bottom floor. So let's go upstairs. Okay, so we are upstairs now. If we go in here, we have this room here. We need this wall here as a support wall. Unfortunately, it's just the way it is, sadly enough. Let me double check though. Maybe we can get rid of it. Oh, hey, we can. All right. How about that? All right. Well, in that case, let's take an S+ sloped wall and let's get rid of this. And let's do a corner support, shall we? Okay, so I'm doing this from outside again. It's probably, you can do it either way. It doesn't really matter too much. But let's see if I can get it to attach at least higher up here. There we go. All right, so that's about as high as you can get it. And again, it's not going to attach perfectly just because of the way the system works. I haven't quite figured it out. So you're going to get a little hole there. Now, you can keep the hole, or you can do what I did and just kind of stay with the wall. Honestly, I don't think it's that big of a deal. If it really bugs you, just put a wall there. It's not that big of a deal. All right, so now that we've got this in place, we can go ahead and add our doorway. So this is going to be a little tricky. I kind of want it to face the other direction. There we go. Perfect. All right, so that actually worked that time. I had a couple takes trying where it just didn't work quite right. So anyway, we got a doorway there. We've got a nice little large kind of area here. Let's go in here. And this is our nice little watchtower here. And we got watchtower up here. I don't think, yeah, we're not going to add anything up there right now. Instead, we're going to go through here. And we got a little bit of a problem. If you're tall like me, you're probably not going to be able to fit through there without crouching. I don't quite know how to fix that without having to redo this entire tower. So do keep that in mind. But I think it's worth living with. So let's go ahead and continue. So let's look at the this room here. We're going to make a room out of this area. So what we need to do is we need to get rid of this kind of this square bit here. So let's go ahead and put a wood wall right there facing outwards. Wood wall here. And let's do a wood wall right there. And here you're going to have to kind of make sure that it snaps to the right spot. So there's like 3 different snap points there, so you may have to pick it up a couple times. Same thing with this. This area is going to be a little tricky too. But we managed to get it. All right, very nice. Okay, next we're going to need a wood wall right up here. So let's see if we can do that. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And then we're going to need some sloped wood walls. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's put them down here. Okay, that looks as good as it's going to get. All right, and then we'll do a solid wall right here. Make sure it snaps to the right spot again. Okay, that looks good. And then a sloped wall here. Oh, and that one actually joined together correctly. Okay, very nice. So now we can walk through here, and now we need to add a solid wall right here. And then we're going to do something a little interesting here. We're going to put a wall here. Just got to make sure it connects to the right spot. I think I need to be in here for it to do that. Let's see. Did that connect right? It connected a little funky, but that's okay. There's no gaps or anything, so let's take it. Why not? And then same thing here. This is going to be a little funky here. There we go. All right. So this is going to be a bathroom. At least that's the idea. We're going to keep the door shut because there are no bathroom objects in ARK. Oh, right. There's one thing we forgot. The fireplace for this room. Hello. Okay. So this is not technically a furnishing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to center it on the fireplace that we already have. And I'm going to have it so that hopefully the brick doesn't stick out too far. Okay, that looks pretty decent, I think. It does stick out a little bit, but, you know, beggars can't be choosers. I think that looks okay. And so we are pretty much done with the walls for the interior. So now what we can do is we can go around and we can do furniture, or we can do glass and stuff. So let's go ahead and do the glass doors, walls, and wood doors, okay? All right, so now it's time to place the glass. And let's do these really quick. You can just place these from the inside. I'm using greenhouse windows. And, you know, they look pretty decent. So we'll just leave those right there. And I'm just going to do those off camera for the rest of the house. So you don't have to worry about placing these special or anything like that. Just make sure you get them all. And so instead, I'm going to show you how to do these full-length wall ones. So from the inside, we're going to look at these greenhouse glass walls here, and there's two snap points. You saw them briefly there. Let's see if I can get it again. There's one that looks like it's inside and one that looks like it's slightly inset into the wall here. We want it from the inside to where it looks slightly inset into the wall. Let's see if it'll take it. It wants to be difficult. Okay, so if it's going to be difficult, you know, there's only so much you can do. Okay, yeah, but if you can, try to get on the outside, because I just think that looks better. But I'm going to give up on this one. Let's go ahead and let's work on this one. So here's how we're going to do it. We're going to pick up these thatch walls, and the structural integrity for this whole thing should hold, because we have a ceiling holding up everything that's connected to the other side of the house. So I'm just going to use my demo gun to get those really fast. Now we're going to use the S Plus class here, and if you look really quick, there's two snap points too. We want this one where it looks like it's right in between the stone and the wood. So place those there as you can. And this one should be easier because you don't have like a ceiling directly above it, attempting to, place it on the inside snap point like that is. Come to think of it, I guess I could remove that, but I don't really care. Can't really be bothered at this point. All right, so let's just build these up. Okay, there we go. So now you see we have these top ones being a bit of a pain. That's going to happen. So you may have to actually, there we go, play around with it a bit. What I had to do was just remove those two wood walls using flying, and then these will place just fine. And then we have to put the wood walls back. So this is going to be the tricky part. Let's see what we can do with it. 6. Okay, that meshes pretty well, and that meshes pretty well. Okay, great. So, yeah, that worked out pretty well, I think. Now we need to cycle the models so that the corners are in the correct spots, and we just want this to look as if it's one seamless plate of glass. All right, there we go. That doesn't look too bad, does it? All right, so now we're going to go over here into this room, and we're going to do the same thing with these. Beautiful. I love it. Okay, so continuing on. Okay, so now we are in the tower here. So let's go ahead and place our doors. Let's do it from the outside. Actually, it probably doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You can do it from the inside too. And you just place them down. And then they're going to want to open automatically because the structure's plus. So you just turn switch to manual and then just close them. And then don't touch them again because they're supposed to be windows. Just treat them like windows, and they will be windows. That's pretty much how that works. And just do that for all 3 levels of the tower. The only slight exception is this second level, where we just want a regular greenhouse door because we want to be able to go out onto the deck too and just kind of enjoy the sunlight and the day and the breeze and all that kind of cool stuff. All right. So anyway, once we there's 2 more entrances where you want the glass doors. The one that's right here. And yeah, that's going to be fun. And then you want the one that's going to be right here. Okay. So actually, you could probably make this a regular door. I think that's what I'm going to do. So now we've got regular door here. And then finally, just add regular doors to all the interior doorways. If you have a stone doorway like over here, use the reinforced doors, which are these things. Those actually fit the doorways for the stone. But otherwise, let's go ahead and get to finishing up the doors and then furnishing this thing. Okay, everybody, are you ready? Here's what the inside looks like. So immediately inside, you notice a staircase and just painted wood everywhere. I spent like 5 hours painting, but this is how I've furnished the main room here. We've got kind of a living area right here with what is supposed to be a couch. So just use your kind of imagination, and an armchair, and then a dining room table here. And I've added a bunch of paintings all throughout the house, so you can see those right here, and a couple things. We went ahead and we added a catwalk above these two things, so it's sort of a ornamental shelf that you could use to display anything you want. And over here we've just kind of painted everything just to kind of go with the color scheme I've chosen. If we go in here, this one is a bit more of a traditional type of sitting room, and you can see the paintings and just kind of the colors I've chosen. If we go in here, this is more, I've tried to make it a little lighter, a little more airy. Another sitting room right here, windows, and smithy / secretary's desk. And let's go in here. So this is the first floor guest bedroom. You could make it the master bedroom if you really wanted, but I decided not to. So this is a guest bedroom. We've got night tables here, and a little sitting area, and a dresser, and a bookshelf, and a bathroom. Added that. And if we go back out here and head on upstairs, you can see family photos. That's Uncle Tom. And we've got all these other things, just kind of artistic things. That's the family pet. So yes, let's go in here. This is the kids' room. And we've got these kind of cool multicolored walls and beds and toy boxes and everything like that, and a dartboard. And it's just kind of neat. I just went crazy with the colors just to kind of play around with it. Let's go in here. Oops, server lag. So in here is our writing room / maybe we could make it a library or something. I don't know. I'm just kind of guessing. And if we go up here, we have a nice little writing nook up here at the top. So if you feel like, let's see, someone winning chair. If you feel like being inspired or anything like that, you can just sit here and just, write the day away, and you have all this amazing, beautiful scenery to look at out the windows. It's really kind of pretty. So let's go ahead and head on back down, and let's head up here onto the second floor landing, and let's go over to the master bedroom here. All right, so this is the master bedroom. It's got the fireplace. It's got some chairs. It's darker in tone, just to kind of set the mood a bit. Nice little picture of the family pet above the bed. Don't ask me why. And then a shower bathroom combo, and a nice little look out the front. So yeah, that's kind of the house tour of the interior. Don't ask me how much it costs to make all this stuff. I didn't really keep track, but it took a while to get all this stuff done. That's for sure. Let's head outside and let's see what I did with the paint colors on the outside. So the deck has kind of a brown color. We painted the house bright red. Let's take a good look at it. And then we got some dark... Whoop. All right. I'm on the fast bird. We got some dark shingles. So those, the stone is painted black, as you can see. And it just looks really kind of nice, I think. I really like how this house turned out. And I hope you did too. It was a lot of fun to build for you. I had an amazing 2-week journey figuring out how to build this thing and then rebuilding it for you on camera. It was really cool. So if you have any questions or anything, please don't hesitate to leave them in the comments. And let me just say that if you want, you can check out the top video in the sidebar here to see more of my building tutorials. And be sure to subscribe to get some creative inspiration, because remember, even if you don't think you're very creative, you can be. So, my name is SWChris. Auf Wiedersehen. Arrivederci. Hasta la vista. Bye-bye.